you? It's me, Curtis P. Hello everyone and welcome to another Sims 4 room building video. Today's video sort of finalizes the whole sort of house building, spooky house building. So I thought, let's do a cool porch because your Sims are coming into the house, they're going to be trick-or-treating. You know what the one place they're going to be going over top of? That's the porch. And you want like a spooky sort of themed porch area. So I thought I would build one for you guys today and it would sort of add to the little bit of fun that's towards the front of this house. Also, kind of builds on the fact that there's like a whole almost main floor plan of a house available for you right on the exchange. So you can download all the pieces, add them together, and you can even tweak them however you really wish. So tons of fun for you guys up there in the world. Yes. Adding in a railing here and some other stuff. I went with more of a darker theme on the outside of this house, kind of keeping again with the more like, you know, creepy theme of Halloween. So playing around with that, I thought that was a ton of fun, and I'm going to add a bunch of columns around it and a bunch of Halloween-based objects on the actual veranda porch area here, so lots of cool objects here. The one thing I noticed, there's not a lot of columns that are like darker color, which is unfortunate, so I settled with these ones. They look more like stone-ish, so apologies if they don't really match the overall theme, but they're as close as I could get with it still being dark, so that was kind of a overarching issue. If I just had creative style, it would make everything a lot easier, but of course, it's not an option anymore, so we move past. I digress. We move on. Adding in a few different items here, and of course, the different patio pieces here, a little bit of a sidewalk that sort of goes up into the actual home. I'm going to do a bunch of landscaping too, just to sort of finish off what the look could be. The only bad thing is when you download this from yeah, exactly. When you download this from the exchange, please note, unfortunately, none of the landscaping comes with it. It doesn't really work that way. I wish there was a way to like group objects together. Like if they were in a room, or you can group them, or they were in a lot. That would be cool, but there is no way to do that right now. So we kind of have to move on from that. But this is kind of just an idea. When you download this, add this into your game. Here's what your lot could look like from the front. Just adding in a few different objects here. I sort of painted the ground with this sort of a dirt texture, which was kind of nice. And then I'm going to add in a bunch of plants and stuff. I tried to make it look very decrepit. I didn't want it to look too nice, which is kind of an issue because a lot of the plants go together really well that it was like, if you put them in there, like simply, you're like, oh shoot, that looks too nice for it to be like a haunted house. So tried to keep sort of like this darker, sort of, well, just not put together look, basically. I wanted it to look very run down, so kind of a tough thing to find there. Adding in some plants like I was talking about here. I'm trying to choose between some stuff. I originally put in like a bunch of these plants all along the ground, and I was like, yeah, this will look perfectly fine. And then I was like, it looks too organized. That's the issue with this. So as much as it sort of fills the space, I'm like, A, it looks very repetitive, and B, it just doesn't look decrepit enough. So I got rid of all of those. Didn't really like the way that looked. Sort of threw in these instead, which are a little bit more, they're very sporadically placed. They're not as like sequential and just similar sort of. So repetitive would be probably the word I'm looking for. So threw those in there. Thought they kind of looked nice. And obviously you can do this however you want. Like I said, the landscaping doesn't really come with this build. So do the landscaping however you want. If you want it to be like this huge, vast, sprawling front yard, you can do that. Or of course, if you want it just to be something like this, which is nice and small, you can totally do that also. I was going to put some trees in here, but I thought it's just too small for trees, kind of. It would have sort of detracted from the overall look, so that was going to be an issue. Adding in some actual items now, just kind of searching through, using the filter objects. The filter objects are super useful. If you've never really used them before, you can filter out like different packs and stuff. So that's kind of what I've done here. You can see this full grid view of all of the objects that are based inside of this actual stuff pack, so you can kind of go through. I'm pulling out all of the different pumpkin faces, so you can actually see a bunch of them there, just because I wanted to use a bunch of different ones. There's also a cool pumpkin with like a witch hat on it, so that was kind of fun. I thought I would throw that in there. Some cool graveyard stones, which are there. Again, the pumpkin lamp, which I've raved about in other build videos so far, so those are kind of fun. Adding in some other pieces here, some outdoor lamps. And I'm also going to throw some spooky spiders and some cobwebs and stuff around. A lot of the objects are actually really fun to build with because you can put them in different spots, and using the scaling tool, you can actually make them bigger or smaller. You'll see I'll use that for like the pumpkins. I sort of put a little cluster of pumpkins, then I make like a bigger pumpkin in the background. Super useful for sort of like that varying look. Like you can see right there, bigger pumpkin with smaller pumpkins in the front. So it allows that different look, which is kind of a nice thing to add into the actual build here. So number of objects, some more spiders. I hate spiders personally, but I think they look amazing inside of this build. So I like the idea of like using a bigger one and then using some smaller ones around it. Sort of gives that effect of sort of, I like to think like a mother spider and like a bunch of little spiders all spawning off. You know, what's the worst case? You know, I hate spiders, but the worst thing would be like a big spider that spawns little spiders a lot. I know that happens in real life, but like if it was happening on my porch, it's not what I want. So spooky, scary, Halloween. Exactly. Yeah, exactly. I don't know what I'm talking about right now. Anyway, talking about spiders and big spiders. Ugh, at least not snakes. Why didn't they include snakes? That's a weird thing. Anyway, here's one final shot of the room here for you guys to see. If you want to, don't forget you can download this right from the gallery. There is a card on screen right now. You can click on that and find a link on the gallery. If you guys enjoyed today's video, make sure you hit that like button and subscribe to the channel as I'm working to bring more Sims 4 based videos every single week. And of course, I have my news-based video every Friday, which is the simulation, so please make sure you check that out. Until next time, everyone, I'm Curtis Paradis. Have yourself a great day, night, whatever it is, wherever you are, whenever you're watching this. And until next time, I'm Curtis Paradis. I can't get my extra right. I'm in a different location, so sorry, guys. I don't know why. Change of location, I can't get my extra. Anyway, goodbye. I'm Curtis Paradis. Happy simming. Yes, that's what... I need to just leave. Okay, goodbye.